What's going on, everybody? Today we are going to be talking about all things in the world of recruitment, scouting, recruitment, everything. So essentially we're going over the ins and outs of building your perfect squad and kind of the frame of thinking that you should have when going after certain players or trying to improve certain areas of your squad. So off the rip with this Ajax squad, where did I go about improving them? In a couple of videos I have hinted at certain areas that I would like to improve, and I hit on essentially every single one. I made sure that we improved and got younger in our back line, made sure that we brought in a central midfielder that can also play as a number 10, brought in a winger as well, and a striker. Now, when it comes to my personal recruitment, I think a lot of people should think in this way as well, is when you are bringing in players, you definitely want them to be able to play more than just one singular position. However, if they're absolutely elite and world class in that one singular position, obviously go ahead, bring that type of player in. But all these players that I brought in can essentially play wherever I need them to, except for the striker. In the back line, I ended up bringing in Alan Maturo. I brought him in from Genoa. And as we can see, attribute-wise, very well-balanced player, but also defensively speaking, he could play at center back, left wing back, or left midfield if I need him to. However, I will be utilizing him as a center back and an inverted fullback. That is kind of the best areas that suit him within the system that I will be playing, and being that he is left-footed, I do want to keep him on that left-hand side. Then when you're able to bring in a player like Chris Richards, who is a very good player for the level of the Eredivisie, it is a no-brainer to try and go pick him up, because not only does he have some very solid attributes, especially in the physicality department with 15 heading, 16 jumping reach, he is going to be a beast in the air. We're going to be training his strength to get that up as well. But he, once again, like Maturo, can play in a multitude of positions. Center back, left back, right back, defensive midfield, right wing back. So versatility is key for me personally in recruitment. You definitely want to have players that can play as many positions as possible, because if you end up getting hit with an injury bug, you have players that you can kind of plug in anywhere and they're still going to be able to do a job for you. That is one of the key areas of recruitment. Make sure that you not necessarily have the quantity, but the quality of players. So yes, you might only have 25 players at your disposal instead of like 80 like Chelsea has, but you still will have 25 players that can play a multitude of positions, so you can plug and play them where you need them. Another player that fits that bill was Martin Batterina. He can play as a 10 or a central midfielder, and that's what I wanted with whatever central midfielder or 10 that I ended up bringing in. But not only can he play in those two positions, he can play in defensive midfield or on both wings as well. And being that the tactic that I am implementing, our central midfielder kind of goes up and then moves into the number 10 area, this is the perfect player to have. So I was making sure that whatever player I would be bringing in, like I said, could do both jobs very, very well. And that versatility comes into effect once again with Mr. Brian Ocampo, who I brought in from Cadiz. He is a very pacey player. I love my pacey players, but I also love players that can move the ball, especially if they're a winger that has good crossing ability. And as we see here, he has good crossing ability, but also he can play on both wings or up top if I need him to. So once again, that versatility hitting home. And then finally, we have Emmanuel Imega, who I brought in from Strasbourg. He is a 6'5" beast of a striker. Yes, it says he can play on the wings. However, I most likely will never be utilizing him on the wings. Due to his size, due to his pace, he's going to be lethal up front. And that is what I kind of suggest for a lot of people this year within FM24, any FM in general. You want a bigger striker with pace, and if you can get them, you are set for a long while. However, having a wombo combo, as I call it, of a bigger striker as well as a smaller striker with pace and playmaking ability, that is the best combination that you can possibly have in the world of football. Having a big guy and a smaller guy, it works so well. Look at Inter Milan, for example. Marcus Thuram is the big guy, while Taro Martinez is the smaller guy, and it works very, very well. But with the recruitment of those players, I definitely had to go about it a certain way. Either making sure that I am hitting certain criteria, hitting certain age profiles, or certain player profiles as well. And we already saw that I was hitting those certain player profiles. I wanted versatile players. Everyone can play more than just one position. Although one of them I will mainly be playing only in that one position, which is Omega at striker. Now, one way that you can figure out, all right, what are my philosophies on recruitment? How do I want to build my squad? Create recruitment focuses. A lot of people tend to use recruitment focuses now. I do sometimes. I play the game enough and watch the game of football enough that I know what players I should probably be going after. However, couple seasons in, yes, I do start using recruitment focuses because of the new gens, but using recruitment focuses can help you kind of realize, all right, what exactly am I looking for? As we can see here with the recruitment focuses that I have here for Ajax, I'm looking for some first team impact type players, looking for future players for the first team, free players that can make instant impacts either as subs or starters, and then future stars. Now, you're probably seeing the future and then future stars and thinking those are the same. The future one, that is future first, second, and third, this is how it is set up. I have them scouting within Europe, all three of them, looking for 1.5 star minimum current ability and 3.5 star minimum potential ability. So I'm looking for players that can be big, impactful type players, potential game in, game out type starters. Then for the future star that I have for Europe as well as South America and Asia, I once again have it at the 1.5 minimum current ability, but then I have it at 4 minimum potential ability because I see 4 star, 4.5, 5 as those are world-class players right there. The best of the best. Yes, 3.5 is still a very, very good player, but majority of the time you're going to want those 4, 4.5, 5-star type players, and this is what I'm aiming for from these three areas in the world. I know that there's an overabundance of talent in not only Europe but South America as well as Asia. Now, when it comes to the free is affordable one, aka free signings, I do not have an age limit. On everything else, I have an age limit. This is from 15 to 50. With free signings, free is affordable, and if you can land, say, which I have done this previously, a 33-year-old Bruno Fernandes on a free at a club like Lazio, they're going to have a major impact for a season. Then you can sell them to Saudi Arabia the next season. So you get major impact for season 1, and then you can sell them on for a fee, pretty decent fee, to a club in Saudi Arabia. It works pretty well with the older stars within the game of football. However, when you have younger players, it allows you to develop them even further and sell them for 100% profit. Because when you're bringing in players on a free, you're straight up just paying the signing on fee as well as their contract throughout their time at your club. At any moment, you can sell that player for 100% profit. It is no-brainer type signing, so I always make sure that I have a recruitment focus, at least 1 to 2 of them, focused on finding free signings. This time it is going to be throughout Europe. And then finally, we have those first team impact type players. I've got 3 different focuses, all focusing on Europe, because I want to sign a lot of players from the European leagues, whether they're the bigger leagues or the smaller leagues. I want to show them some love, especially those smaller leagues. And the age cap that I have on that is 15 to 27. The reason why I cap it out at 27 is because once they hit 28, that is essentially, all right, they're right on the cusp of that downhill decline. So if I bring in someone at the age of 27, as we can see here, I don't have that long a time with them. So I got to keep that in mind. How much am I going to be willing to spend on a player? Now, with this, minimum current ability is 2.5. Minimum potential ability is 3 stars. I am looking at this knowing, okay, first team impact is either players I can bring off the bench, start every couple games, or someone that is going to start every game. So this is one of the more perfect and must-have recruitment focuses if you are trying to be a club that is competing currently. Now, one thing that you probably saw on each of these as I pulled it up was this red text right here. Scouts are busy with other tasks, so results will take time. What that essentially means is I am capped out on recruitment focuses. So for those of you that are new to Football Manager or have never had that happen to you in Football Manager, that is what that means. You can no longer add any more recruitment focuses. Yes, you can, but it is going to take some time to get there. So if I have every single one on ongoing, which that is what the white target means, that means it essentially is never going to get to that next one. However, if I have it on standard, it will eventually get there. And then top priority means like this is the main focus right now. Really quickly before we move on, everyone, I got a little news update for you guys. I have once again partnered with Fanatical to get you guys a discount on pre-orders for FM25 if you wish to do so. It will get you 22% off your pre-order over on Fanatical using code YGORMY25, all caps. Also, a really cool thing about this pre-order code is that it's not just for pre-orders. So if you wish to kind of hold out, wait to see the reviews and everything on FM25, you're still going to be able to get a discount all the way up until December 31st. You will be able to get at least 5% off your purchase using code YGORMY25, all caps, on Football Manager 25. So definitely make sure to utilize it, especially around the holidays. But now, let's go ahead and get back to the video. Now, there are different ways of going about recruitment. One is using your recruitment focuses. The other is looking for recommendations from your staff. Then there's the way that I kind of do it, and I am the scouting department, essentially. I am always looking for players, going out of my way, searching players, looking at U23s, looking at everything around the world of football to try and find players to bring into my club. Now, one thing that helps me be able to do that with any type of recruitment style is your scouting range. As we can see here, Ajax has a world scouting range. And essentially how it goes is world, whatever continent you are on, the region you are in, country you are in, your surrounding divisions, your division alone, and then obviously no scouting budget. Now the impacts that has is that it changes all the players that you are able to see. So being that we have the World Scouting Package, we can see any player in the world that may end up wanting to come play for us. So we can see the Bundesliga right here, the Saudi League, the Premier League. We have got everything at our disposal. And there is a little trick for those of you that may not be able to afford the monthly payment of what a World Scouting range costs. Because as we can see up here, $360K for a year, $30K per month. So what you do essentially, you will go to your scouting budget up here, right next to the transfer and wage budget. You go to the scouting budget, click that, and you can throw whatever you have in your transfer budget into your scouting budget. So now you can see we have $3.9 million in the scouting budget. We would be good for a couple of seasons scouting the world. However, I can then put it back to, we'll just hit cancel, I guess. So we put it back to that $360K. We can then go here. We have enough for 1 year. We are able to then have it on that and kind of click and forget type thing. However, if you don't have enough, you can put it on the world category right there. You will then have everyone in the world. I'll take it off of center back because that is what I have it sorted as right now. It'll load up all the players in the world that may be interested in you. You can then go on and highlight a whole bunch of players, right click, add shortlist, put there indefinitely. So then everyone that you just highlighted, put onto that shortlist, they're all here. They will go nowhere. You're able to keep tabs on them the whole time, scout them, recruit them, do whatever you need to. If you do not have the funds to keep it on the World Scouting range, you will then need to go back to whatever you previously had it on. Keep in mind, the trick with this to get like free World Scouting range is do not advance a day. If you advance a day, it will then charge you whatever the cost is. So say you were in the Vanarama National and you somehow have the funds to get the World Scouting range by throwing everything into your scouting budget. You then have the World Scouting range. Do not hit continue or it will then charge you for that month. So if you can just do the world scouting and then swap it back once you have a short list of players that you kind of want to look at, then it will not charge you. And there you go. One of the last few things that I want to hit on here is when it comes to your recruitment and you are looking for those wonder kids, as everyone is always looking for wonder kids, one of the best ways to find them, especially the new gens, is looking at the youth national teams. So, for example, we're here on the squad screen. We're going to go to Gaston Avia's country, Argentina. I will then go up to the national team. We can go to U23s. Right now, there's no one there, but throughout time, it is going to fill in with new gens. You go to the U20s, same thing here. You're going to get new gens, 15, 16, 17-year-olds. They are going to be absolutely broken a majority of the time if they are making their youth national teams, especially if it's a country like in Argentina. And a quick little hint for everyone, some of the best countries to do this with are the Nordic countries, such as Norway. They have their senior squad, U21s, U19s, U18s. You are going to be able to find a boatload in the U18s come the end of your first season. There will be plenty, most likely, on the U18s, especially 2 years on. So when looking for those wonder kids, definitely make sure you are looking at those youth national teams, not just clubs from around the world. Going to look at the national teams can help you find a boatload of pretty solid players. And also, if you're in a country that you need to have a certain amount of players from whatever nation you are playing in, once again, going to your national teams, either the first team national team or the youth levels, is going to help you find those players to fill those slots. And the last little tip I got for you guys recruitment-wise is when signing players, try and use installments when you can. It is going to allow you to get players for a cheaper price up front, such as when I brought in Chris Richards. I'm pretty sure I only paid like $7.5 up front and then $15 million over 3 years. So 3 installments of £5 million each. So essentially it'll be like buying 3 players for £5 million over the course of those 3 seasons. However, Chris Richards, being that he's so darn good and he will be pretty good here for us at Ajax, his value is going to increase way higher than what I ended up paying for him, so it's going to be worth it going the installment route. But also for people that cannot afford the full price up front initially, especially if you're a smaller club, installments help you get that done. You just need to make sure that you're still bringing in some cash flow into the club to where you're going to be able to cover it. Alright, so there we have it for today's episode of The Process with Ajax. Everything recruitment-wise. Now, next episode, we are going to be getting into in-game management and how I kind of go about things and how to approach making sure that you are getting not only the best out of your squad within the match, but making sure you're dominating your opponent. Now, I've already started playing some of the games, so I'm going to hopefully be able to get 3 games within that next episode. I want to make sure that we're getting some league matches in there as well as some conference league games. As you can see, we've already played 3 conference league matches. So definitely make sure, keep an eye out for that one. The next episode should be coming out on Saturday. That is when I hope to have it out. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, please feel free. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is 100% free, so why not hit the sub button. Also hit the notification bell so you guys get notified when the next video in this mini-series goes live on the channel. Until next time, everyone, have a good one. Bye-bye.